Okay. Who's next? Tracie.
Let's see, what do I
Something
have? Yeah, I got one that Arkansas schools are now displaying their "In God We Trust" posters in the classrooms.
Awesome.
Yeah, state law allowed it to be displayed. Not all the schools are doing it. It's allowed. It's not mandated. It's my understanding.
It is not allowed.
Well,
It's just
here's the
so
thing that's painful, right? Is that here's how it works. In God We Trust being the national motto, it's very hard to ban it. So when someone puts it up, when you put it on a license plate, when you put it on money, and people go to court, it's really hard to get this banned because it is the national motto. So they go in and they say, this is not about promoting a religion. This is history, tradition, blah, blah, blah. And then when they come out, the people that are actually the constituency are like, all right, we got Christian God back in the schools.
Right.
And I almost wish that the courts could kind of address that. Because when the lawyer goes in and says this has nothing to do with promoting religion, and then the student files a lawsuit, and then all the angry Christians can converge on that kid and make their life a living hell, I would like the judge to see that this argument that this is just a traditional, historic motto, blah, 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 really isn't what's going on. This is the veneer. This is the secular paint job that goes over the religious furniture. And what they're selling is Jesus in the classroom. And since they can't say, we love Jesus on the poster, they say, hey, we've got this national motto. And it can be sold under the radar because it's not, it's just this deistic kind, it's just unidentified God. And nobody really knows what that means. And it could be anybody's God. It's like, yes, I'm sure this is anyone's God. And this is why you're putting it in the schools. And, we all understand how much these Buddhists are constantly trying to put God in the schools. So I'm sure that's,
Yeah.
And so it's like, there is no doubt what this is, except in a courtroom where a lawyer goes in and argues that it is absolutely what it is not.
Right. They're arguing that it's tradition or that it is some kind of ceremonial deism that's permissible or whatever. Ceremonial deism does not provoke the kind of vitriol that you see when these kinds of cases go to court.
Yeah, take these posters down. Sorry, I think I just hit a mic, but take these posters down and see who gets flamed.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. You're not going to have a problem with Muslims, freaking out that the posters
Or the history professors who are like, put that piece of history back up on the wall.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
When my kids started school here, I spent a lot of time in the classroom volunteering, and my jaw was on the floor the first time I was there in the morning, and they do the pledge and all that stuff. But then they have the moment of silence. Could there be a more thinly veiled prayer moment?
I think that's actually been successfully challenged in some cases.
That still happens in their
That's
schools.
Unfortunate.
My kids'
I do want to say in reading this article, just FYI, although it does say that it's not mandatory in the classrooms, it says that the law does require the motto to be displayed in some form in public buildings maintained with state funding. The bill passed in Arkansas House 78-1.
Ooh.
And in the Senate 20-2. Wouldn't you like to be the one person in that house? Oh, can you imagine the voting? Like, it's always me. It's always one. Oh my gosh. This is hideous. It reminds me of that movie, what was it? The Revisionaries, when you're watching the voting for the Texas School Board, and it's like, there's the black member and there's the, the woman member. And it's like, they're both, you could tell they're both kind of secular and they're getting voted down like again and again. It's like I said, whatever, 8-2, vote on this again, 8-2. It's like, let me guess where the next vote's going to be. Oh, 8-2. What a shock,
Who
right?
it's going to be. Oh my God.
Yeah. Ooh, it's got to be frustrating.
And this whole argument from tradition about this, never mind that this was not the traditional motto of the United States, that it was revised in response to the Red Scare.
Right.
And it had nothing to do with tradition or anything.
Right.
Because if you posted our traditional motto from that we originally had, I don't think you'd get anybody complaining about that, except the religious,
people that are mad it's not in God we trust anymore.
right. The religious right wing would be foaming at the mouth because you didn't post their.
They'd probably freak out even if it was suggested as like an alternate. Even if I said, hey, let's have it as dual mottos. You keep your In God We Trust, and then a pluribus unum will also be adopted as a national motto along, like co-national models. I think they would still crap themselves even in that. But
Yeah, they would.
It's not enough that they have a space. It's that they have to own the space.
Right.
Yeah.
And control the narrative. And here we go, back around full circle.